Alright, so imagine this. The camera slowly glides toward a tiny, perfectly proportioned classic sitting under soft morning light, chrome gently catching the sun, and before I even say a word, you already feel it. This little car has presence. Today on Car Service, I'm standing in front of something that honestly doesn't get talked about enough. The 1960s Honda S800. And let me tell you, this car isn't just old, it's alive with personality. As the shot moves along the front fenders and settles on that delicate grille, you can almost sense Honda trying to prove something to the world back then. This was a company known for motorcycles, daring to step into the sports car world with confidence, engineering obsession, and a whole lot of heart. As I walk around it, you notice how small it really is. By modern standards, this thing looks like a toy, but that's exactly where the magic starts. Honda didn't want to build a muscle car. They wanted to build something precise, something that rewarded drivers who actually enjoyed the act of driving. The camera catches the side profile, that long hood, short rear deck, and those slim tires that look almost fragile, but they're not. There's a delicacy here, almost like a mechanical watch on wheels. And here's an interesting fact about this car. Honda designed the S800 with the mindset of a motorcycle engineer, not a traditional car manufacturer, and you can feel that philosophy everywhere you look. Let's open the door, and as the camera dips inside, you immediately step back in time. The interior is simple, almost minimalist, but it's honest. Thin seats, a clean dashboard, and gauges that feel like they belong in an old aircraft. There's no unnecessary fluff here. Everything exists for a reason. You sit low, legs stretched forward, hands falling naturally onto a thin steering wheel that gives you a direct connection to the front wheels. And when I say direct, I mean no filters, no electronic interference, just you, the road, and a machine that wants to talk back to you. Now let's get to the heart of the story, because this is where the S800 really shocks people. The camera moves under the hood, lingering as I explain that this tiny car is powered by an 800 cubic centimeters inline-4 engine. Yes, 800 cubic centimeters. That's smaller than many modern motorcycles. But don't let that fool you. Here's an interesting fact about this engine. It was capable of revving up to around 9,500 revolutions per minute. Let that sink in for a second. In the 1960s, when most cars were barely comfortable going past 5,000 revolutions per minute, Honda built an engine that screamed like a race bike. As the camera cuts to the tachometer, I can already imagine that needle dancing toward the red line. And when you turn the key, that imagination becomes reality. The engine fires up with a sharp mechanical bark, not loud in a brutish way, but high-pitched, eager, almost impatient. A quick blip of the throttle, and the sound climbs instantly, smooth and precise, like it's begging you to push it harder. The camera captures the exhaust vibrating slightly as the revs rise, and you realize this car doesn't rely on raw power. It relies on character. Around 70 horsepower might not sound impressive today, but in a car this light, weighing under 800 kilograms, it feels alive. As we roll onto the road, the camera follows alongside, showing the S800 gliding through gentle curves. This is where everything comes together. The steering is light but communicative. Every small movement of the wheel translates directly into the car's direction. You're not just driving it, you're dancing with it. The suspension is firm but not harsh, and you feel the road through the seat and steering wheel in the best possible way. Here's another interesting fact. The S800 featured chain-driven rear wheels, a design borrowed straight from motorcycles. It sounds strange, but it worked beautifully, keeping weight down and adding to that unique Honda engineering charm. As the road opens up, I press the accelerator and the engine note climbs higher and higher, filling the cabin with this addictive mechanical scream. The camera cuts between the tachometer, my foot on the pedal, and the road stretching out ahead. This car rewards revs. It wants to be pushed. It wants to be driven the way engineers intended. Not babied, not cruised lazily, but worked hard. And that's something modern cars have lost a bit of. Today, speed is easy. Back then, speed was experience. While cruising, it's impossible not to talk about what this car meant for Honda. The S800 was a statement. It was Honda saying, "We belong here." At a time when European roadsters dominated the small sports car segment, Honda arrived with something different, something precise and technologically advanced. This wasn't about copying anyone. This was about innovation. The camera captures the Honda badge on the hood, slightly worn, and you realize how much history is packed into this tiny emblem. Pulling over for a moment, the camera circles the car again, this time slower, more intimate. You notice the details, the slim chrome bumpers, the simple taillights, the compact proportions that somehow look perfect from every angle. There's a purity here that's hard to find today. No aggressive styling, no fake events, no overexageros. Just clean, honest design. Here's an interesting fact for you. The S800 was one of the fastest cars in its class at the time. Not because of brute force, but because of its incredible power-to-weight ratio and high-revving nature. Getting back behind the wheel, I can't help but smile. This car makes you feel something. It makes you feel involved, connected, important in the driving process. Every shift through the gearbox is mechanical and satisfying. The lever clicking into place with a reassuring feel. The camera catches my hand shifting, then cuts to the road as the car accelerates again. There's no rush here, no distractions, just the joy of driving for the sake of driving. As the sun begins to dip lower, the light turns golden, and the S800 looks even more beautiful rolling down the road. This is the kind of car that makes you forget about numbers, forget about specs, and just enjoy the moment. It reminds you why people fell in love with cars in the first place. Not because they were fast on paper, but because they made you feel alive behind the wheel. And honestly, that's why the 1960s Honda S800 deserves more respect. It wasn't just Honda's early sports car, it was a blueprint, a promise of what the brand would become. Precision, reliability, high-revving excitement, and engineering passion. You can trace a line from this little roadster all the way to cars like the S2000 and even beyond. The DNA is right here. As I park the car and the engine ticks softly as it cools, the camera lingers on it one last time. There's something special about machines like this. They don't just exist to get you from point A to point B. They exist to make the journey memorable. And if you're someone who truly loves cars, who loves driving, who loves stories on four wheels, the Honda S800 is one of those stories you never forget. This is the kind of car that doesn't shout for attention, but once you notice it, you can't stop thinking about it. And that, my friends, is exactly why I love sharing cars like this with you here on Car Service. Because sometimes the smallest cars leave the biggest impressions.